No, she will be turning.
Okay, this is Eddie Dotson.
So you guys can get out of here.
Fundamentals of speech. This is my persuasive speech, and I have 3 audience members. There's 1, 2, and there's 3. So we'll be talking about should college athletes be paid? Collegiate sports, unchanged for more than a century, has experienced huge change in less than 1 year. Much of that change has been centered around name, image, and likeness. Amateurism has been a part of collegiate sports since the NCAA started. Players could not be paid to play. Student athletes received only scholarships. But in 2021, the Supreme Court unanimously ruled against the NCAA in NCAA versus Austin that the NCAA could not limit education-related payments to student athletes. The NCAA then deferred to state laws on NIL, and in states that hadn't passed laws, the schools themselves decided. 2 things remain, according to the NCAA. No pay for play, and athletes were not supposed to receive payments tied to performance, and recruits were not supposed to sign deals based on going to a certain school. Some schools got out in front of it. Most were caught and left behind. What followed immediately was tons of endorsement announcements, from NFT and Nike deals to local restaurant and car dealerships, agent signings, and many social media entities offering athletes money. The term they started using as an alternate to NIL was called college collectives. In early May, leaders in college sports met in Phoenix, and they were concerned about the upcoming pay-for-play NIL market. These collectives are companies typically founded by alumni of the school. Money is collected through these companies and then directed to athletes for the rights to use their name, image, and likeness. Collectives operate independently of the university and athletic department. So simply put, they are boosters. So all of these boosters, they help set up NIL deals with the current student athletes. And many are helping facilitate NIL deals with new athletes. Recruits of various star rankings are signing big-time contracts, and these contracts guaranteed. The money is guaranteed regardless of the recruit's presence on the team, long-term or short-term. Booster involvement in recruiting has never been allowed. Neither has pay for play. So the NCAA released new, clearer guidelines for its enforcement in an effort to limit boosters' involvement in NIL-related payments to recruits. So collectives definitely are considered boosters. Whether you feel this is just bringing to light what has always happened, if you think this is bad and hurting the state of college sports, the recruiting trends of NIL have hit sports leaders and coaches very hard. We all know what is going on at some places, and now it's the wild, wild west. One Power 5 head coach told the Athletics, Bruce Feldman. He said it's out of control and it's been getting dramatically worse by the week and by the day, it seems. So what can we expect in the future? Well, a relatively new NCAA subcommittee just spent a few months working on the newly released NIL guidelines stating that collectives are considered boosters. So they're subject to the NCAA rules prohibiting booster involvement in recruiting. The Division I Board of Directors issued bylaws meaning that the NCAA Enforcement Department should soon be cracking down on collectives and other boosters offering recruiting deals and extra money and benefits. Some legal experts believe that the NCAA would be opening up itself to further antitrust trouble if it attempts to bring punishments for these NIL deals from the collectives. We won't know for sure until more NCAA investigation into a collective comes, which would likely bring a lawsuit and a judge's decision on whether the NCAA can legally enforce rules or not. The leader in the fight for athletes and helping pave the way for college athletes getting paid was Ed O'Bannon. O'Bannon was a former All-American forward for the UCLA Bruins who won a title in 1995. 20 years later, O'Bannon sued the NCAA. and a district court ruled that the NCAA violated antitrust laws by not allowing student athletes to profit from their likeness in broadcasts and also in video games. O'Bannon's 5-year battle against the NCAA permanently altered the course for athletes getting paid for their name, image, and likeness. Critics of NIL predicted that only the top 1% of athletes would make money. Coaches said that differing levels of compensation would lead to fights and cause division among teammates. According to Jay Billis, college basketball analyst for ESPN, he said July 1st marks the 1-year anniversary of college athletes finally being allowed to monetize their name, image, and likeness, something that literally every other person in America is allowed to do without regulation or restriction. Until a year ago, college athletes were limited to scholarship and stipend due to the NCAA's principle of amateurism. Their sports were to be pursued for the love of the game and nothing more. Even while the administrators of the game turned college sports into a multi-billion-dollar entertainment industry that generated over $19 billion per year. So in conclusion, it seems that college athletes are actually performing as professionals and making these universities billions of dollars. So do you feel they should be paid for their name, image, and likeness? Thank you.